I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. It says, quote, question on free will and God fulfilling his purpose for our lives. And God's sovereign will, I understand that to mean that he will fulfill his purpose for me. Nothing even can stop that. However, what happens to free will? What if I decide it was easier or less painful to go the world's way, God's way? How can he fulfill the purpose if I or someone steps out of his plan or, quote, tries to avoid it? Great question. In fact, when we describe the character, the nature of God, one of those words is omnipotent. That means he is all powerful. We use the term of sovereignty, meaning there is nothing he cannot do if he so desires to do so. Yet, what we also discover is that twice in your Bible, once in Ezra chapter 7, it says that he asks us to exhibit free will and bring in worship and offerings to him. The other one is in Exodus chapter 25. Why is that important? Is because I think when it comes to the question of sovereignty of God and free will of man, it's not an either or. It is truly a both and. That God is sovereign and that we have free will within his purpose and design for our life, which according to Philippians 1:6, he will do so until his coming. Now, here's the critical question. Is when we talk about what about going the world's way, his way, etc., there is no biblical defense for ever willingly, volitionally choosing the world's way and or a sinful path that brings about consequences, both those that are naturally occurring and those of which the hand of the judgment and may we say the punishment of God. Now, in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it talks about that which is the good, the acceptable, and the perfect will of God. I think this is critical to the question because in our life, as a believer in Jesus Christ, desiring to do the things of God in our life, I think more often than not, as a believer, there are multiple paths that are, quote, within his realm and his will, acceptable, good, perfect. And I think sometimes we get caught up that if we're not in the perfect will of God, then somehow we're out of the will of God. But I think Romans 12:2 pushes against that, so to speak. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this. Per the question, yes, God does have a plan. God does have a purpose for each of our lives, i.e. Philippians 1:6 again. Is he sovereign? Yes. Does the Bible give evidence that we have free will? Absolutely. So therefore, it is this great, if you'll let me say, balancing act where you and I, listen to this, sounds radical. Please note my gift of sarcasm. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, we walk by faith and not by sight. So again, each and every day, we've just got to trust, communicate, and lean on God to guide us and direct us so that we, hopefully, will be in his absolute perfect will each and every day of our lives. Great question. If you have one, send to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.